right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live stream. I already see we have Mafu in the chat. Yay! Welcome to the stream. And so we have Antoine here too. Woohoo! So I have the lovely Jane here with me today. We're going to be collaborating for a couple hours here. I'm just going to sit here on the side and work on a tarot card that we started last week. But I know Jane has lots of fun projects that she wants to talk about and kick off. If you aren't already following Jane, you definitely should, because she's doing a really great series of live streams right now and getting them all checked out and making sure you can hear me. For you guys in the chat, can you let us know if there's any weirdness, any echoes? I tried to test beforehand, so just let us know. Otherwise, here we go. Welcome, Jane.
Hello, I just realised that I haven't got a Twitch window up to be able to see the chat.
Oh.
And I suddenly realised I was blind and I couldn't see it.
What is happening?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey up, everybody. Hey up, Martha. It's Antoine, isn't it?
Yes.
Proxy. Hello, bonjour. I know you speak French.
Yeah.
That's the limit of my French.
Kick it off. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we're going to do some fun art business for a bit, guys. It's going to be good. What's everybody up to? All right. So I'm going to just plug away here.
You're doing a ballet dancer.
Yeah, so the tarot card here is one of the characters from the book of the Night Circus. And her in the state of the book, she's kind of our costume designer and all that. But when she was growing up, she was a prima ballerina in the ballet, and so this is kind of her working on her art, but then kind of remembering what she used to do as well as a performer. So
now, funnily enough, years and years ago, when I was a little girl, apparently, I once drew a ballerina in a scrapbook.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did with it. I think it must have been crayons or something. Might even have been chalk. I've got a vague recollection of doing it because the scrapbook was really quite big and I've only got little arms and they were even littler when I was younger. So when I was drawing it to try and fill the page, it was really hard to reach. And I remember doing this really sweeping movement to get the arms of this ballet dancer.
Amazing.
And apparently my godmother saw it and said it was really good and it had real movement. Make sure when she goes to school, the art teachers don't knock that out of her.
Nice.
I haven't got it anymore, but I wish I had, because I do vaguely remember it, and I do remember being proud of it. And that's why when I see ballet dancers drawn, I always remember it. I've never done it since. I've never even tried, because I don't think I could recreate what I envisage in my head of it.
Oh.
Plus, I actually can't watch ballet. I can look at a picture like that for a little while, but I can't actually watch ballet dancers when they're up on their toes.
Yeah, it just like it makes you uncomfortable with their toes.
I don't know what it is. I think it comes from the fact that because my arms and legs don't work like that, I cannot imagine how that can possibly be. Well, not comfortable, but even like possible. And so I look at it and it just makes me want to go, ooh, all the time. And it's the same with, that BBC show over here, Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah.
Which is very, very popular, ballroom dancing, where again, they hold really strict poses in the really strict form of it. The head's back and the arms, and I can't watch that either because I'm there and I end up getting cramped. I'm trying to think how. And I don't know. Maybe it's just really weird. So I've never drawn one for over 50 years.
That's fair.
But I do love that. That is beautiful.
Thank you.
Did you use a reference?
I had, yeah, quite a few different ballet references. I wanted it to initially be like a really complex pose because I wanted her to remember what was going on. But as I was working through the layout and everything, I thought like, oh, that's going to be too much. I think that's going to be getting in her way. So I went with just kind of like the simple pose so that we know it's a ballerina, and then she can fit in the page a little bit better. But I did have lots of reference from actual ballerinas. So I had the legs right and everything. They twist and where they would actually really twist because I think I would guess wrong as to where the weight would be and all that other kind of stuff. But yeah, I could see that. Like, and that's what you said with the movement and stuff. I was saying like I like keeping my sketch lines where I can because I found that's where a lot of the movement in a page is, like in an illustration is. Like a lot of my, because I'm like trying to figure it out, so it has all of my thought process and the whole thing. So I like to keep the sketch lines, and eventually they grow into their own thing with the vectors and they grow into their own life. But if there's an opportunity to keep the sketch lines, that's where a lot of the life and movement is. So maybe that's what was in your sketch. It'd be nice if you could find that though, if it was still around somewhere.
I think that's long gone because I think my dad took the scrapbook and buried it in his shed somewhere, and we've moved 3 times since then. So no, I think that's gone. But I was just thinking, you're right though, because when I've done a quick sketch and then I've thought, right, now I'll make that into a piece of art, I then get disillusioned with it because it loses its life.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's like here, like you can see some of my sketch lines, there's lots of movement and kind of like figuring out where her hair is going to be and things like that. And then I do get to this stage of the liner and I don't love this part of it. That's why I continue to put hierarchy lines and build it up into other things, because this first pass of the lines, I'm just kind of like, oh, it's not as exciting as the sketch was. But then as I go through, it kind of builds up a little bit more. Ray's in the chat. Welcome to the stream.
Well done, Ray. You got here.
Yeah.
I've been telling everybody, and giving your link out. Most everybody I know is already following you though, so
I love that.
It's more about whether they can get off work and find the time.
Yeah,
but we'll be here for a little while, so
yeah. And that's why I was glad to kind of have to try this time frame, because usually I'm at work this time, and but I have Mondays off for the rest of the year now, so I was just like, this way we can do a different time frame and try and catch people like Mafu who can't always catch my stream because of the time difference, and Ray and all that. So I'm glad you guys are all here. Thank you.
No, and I never make yours live either, which is always a shame because it's about 11 o'clock at night for me. And when it's a work week, yeah, we've got to go to bed.
Yeah.
But I do think sometimes, if I can, when it's, if we're on holiday again, like if we weren't doing this now,
right,
I would have tried to maybe rearrange my day so I could have stayed up tonight to watch you.
Right.
For a change,
Yeah, check them all out.
But I messed it up by being here.
Messed up all the things. It's all good. It's all good. Now we can stream together. It'll be fabulous. And you can go to bed at a reasonable hour. Yeah, that's perfect.
So, I might leave this because I don't know. We can recap this. This was like I was telling you, is the room. This was my Firefly generation of a cozy modern creative studio space, and like with a desk and bookshelves, and I don't think I specified plants, but it stuck a load in. And we used this for the basis of this, which is my room, which is going to make the starting screen for my life on Twitch and possibly YouTube if I get that together. And my idea started very simply in that I drew a cactus as a practice thing. I thought, I'm going to try practicing drawing things quickly. And then I thought, rather than just aimlessly drawing them, I ought to have a reason. So what about putting them on a bookshelf? And initially I thought of us looking straight at a bookshelf, straight on. So all we see is the spines of books and maybe the odd plant. And then I thought, well, that's a bit boring. Let's put the bookcase in a room. And that's how we ended up at this thing, which this is the PNG version of it, because the actual Illustrator file is now so weighty that it keeps crashing Illustrator.
Figures.
So I've got to divide it up a bit. So we've actually got my actual car outside the window, and the scene outside the window is going to change with the seasons. We've got books that viewers have picked, and you know that because you've got the Night Circus on there. A lot of them are what I'm reading or which I enjoy. The Photoshop one, I think if I zoom in, it won't really be that clear, no. But Photoshop for Dummies, we cobbled together, and that's actually written by me, Lady Jane Bradbury, and Sean Kozel.
There you go.
So I did think that on some of the books, we should make the people who suggest them the authors.
That's so funny. I love that.
PG version. Is there an over 18s? Well, there might be later on, I suppose. Could be. And then my other idea is that this is actually my actual desk. I sat here, looked at the desk because I'm sat here, and drew it to go in the room. I haven't got bookshelves like this, but I could have, but I haven't. So this is my actual desk and my actual 2-screen setup. And so on here, we'll have the starting AOP screen that I have now. And over here, I'll probably, on this second screen, I'll have a screenshot of what I see when I'm doing this, which is OBS and Twitch and God knows what else on there. And I thought, although we haven't filled the shelves yet, as I get more viewers or whatever, we'll fill up the shelves with more books over time.
I love that.
And like you say, we'll alter the scene outside. Maybe every now and then I'll close the curtains even.
Oh, I love that.
Alessandra, how are you?
Yeah, if it's like nighttime or something, you could close the curtains and have like a little lamp on the desk or something. I like that.
I have got a lamp, but it's actually off the end here.
Okay.
But I could put a lamp over here behind, actually.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Because it's just like a dark
And then
time.
as Matthew's here, I'll show her this again. Matthew didn't want a book, she wanted an album. So we've got Linkin Park, Hybrid
choice.
Theory. And I'm really quite proud of this one because I did screenshot or pull out the actual figure of the man with it or soldier with his flag. Mm-hmm. But the actual text and all of the background and the paint and everything I did in Photoshop. And I think that turned out really well.
It's great. It looks just like the album. It's perfect.
Well, Matthew liked it, so that's good.
That's amazing.
And in the room, because I didn't make it a spine for it, for like you'd get on CDs, I've actually stuck it as if it's wedged in the corner, look, in the cupboard.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
So we did that only the other day, and I think that works well.
Very nice.
And then the other thing that I was proud of in Photoshop was the rose quartz, which is all just brushwork and layers and blending. And that is now sitting on top of this wall shelf on the left next to the plant.
Perfect. I love that.
And then the last thing that I've really enjoyed doing was this, the cover of Ravel's Bolero, which was RB's choice.
Yes.
And this one's all done in Illustrator with textures and shadows. And again, it's giving Illustrator a run for its money. So this is the PNG version. And I am really pleased with how this turned out. I loved doing this one. I'd do more of these. I thought it was brilliant. I loved it.
I love that it looks like there's paper layering. Like the shadowing and everything on it is so great. Like it pops right off the screen. It's gorgeous.
It's not far off the actual original. Where is the original? Except the original's got what I think is a really... Oh, it's not. I haven't got a PNG of the original in here. The original has got a big yellow thing saying Ravel's Bolero across the top, and I didn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Creative,
you wouldn't know
artistic.
the difference. Lincoln Park, Ray, is that it?
No.
I think it's pretty good. I liked it.
That's great.
It was good fun.
It's fun to try with different styles. Like, that's what I really like about this project that you're doing, is that even if you're kind of using other art as inspiration, like the covers and stuff like that, it's still building your skills. Like, how do I recreate that? How can I make this go this way and that? So you're like, it's all awesome. I love it.
I have to admit, I think, if I'm honest, that is one of my motivations. Is I see something and I want to recreate it. I want to know how they did it.
Yeah. And that's a huge thing. Like, I think a lot of people, I think people worry about that kind of thing because it gets borderline like copyright, etc. But for what you're doing, you're just kind of like learning the skill and everything. So that's not an issue here. And so it's a great way to learn, because I think a lot of people get intimidated from starting from scratch, like we talked about earlier, and just like starting from scratch is a lot. So if you can start from something like this and be like, how can I make this happen? How can I do this and that? That's a great way to learn all these software and skills.
So for now, I'm going to close all that because we're trying to make sure we don't crash, like I've been doing lately in my streams. So we're trying to keep it simple. And I've got to laugh at Mafu. She's bought some sour Skittles because I was talking about how I rather like Skittles, the sours that they're called.
Yes.
I've got some here, Mafu, actually, behind me. So I can join you and we can try them. You can tell me which colour you like best.
Oh, I love that.
So in Illustrator, I thought I'd start today, and you can all help me, because I'm at the point where I don't know what to do with it, sort of. Every year for the last, at least 4 years, maybe more, I make a Christmas animation I send out in lieu of Christmas cards.
Cool.
And I have to say, I did try making this earlier in the summer and I couldn't get into the mood. And so I had the idea that I would start what I wanted to do this year in your stream today.
I love that. Woohoo!
And what I've done this time, though, is I started by looking on Adobe Stock for undiscovered vector content. There's a tag you can put when you go into the free search. There's a thing in the filter that says undiscovered content.
Oh, I did not know that.
So I found this Christmas tree with these baubles, and I liked the fact, and the little presents, and I liked the abstract nature of it.
Yes.
So I thought, I'm going to use that. But then I thought it needs a bit more. So then I drew these 3 carol singers on the left in the same sort of style with nice round edges and big white gaps.
Cute.
Then I thought, I'm going to put a window behind it as if it's in a house. So I did. And I found a window that I could use. Then I thought, I want a snowman looking in. So I found a snowman. And then I had the idea of a cat sat looking at the tree. But then I had an even better idea when I saw these little dachshunds, little sausage dogs. And this one is just absolutely perfect. So we've got a cat and a dog looking at the tree.
Amazing. So it just started with just the tree and the presents, and then you've expanded everything else outside of it?
Yeah, the tree and the presents were stock.
Cute.
And I liked the clean lines of it. And I thought, yeah, I could do something with that.
Yeah.
And then I thought it looked a bit black. And then I just went mad. So the tree and presents, well, actually, no, start again. Everything but the carol singers and the actual musical notes is stock. But I did the composition, I suppose you'd say. And made the gaps between everything so it all looks the same and all that sort of thing. I've got to decide how I'm actually going to animate it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you definitely have to have like the music notes floating for sure. They got to be singing, coming out of the singing ladies. And maybe the snowman can be
Yeah,
waving.
and there ought to be a bit of snow maybe in the background.
Yes.
So I don't know. But the biggest problem I've got is colour. Alessandra wants to know what we're working on.
Just
I've just explained mine, so you explain yours, Erin.
Yeah. So Jade's working on her Christmas animation for the season. I'm so excited to see it come together. And I'm working on our tarot card that we started last week, so the strength one. So I think we're both going to work together. So I'm in Fresco, and Jane's over in Illustrator right now, and we're going to be building fun art together. They're both separate projects, but we're working collaboratively to inspire each other to work today.
And catching up, because it's been nearly a year since we did our big thing. We did our big bath in the December, didn't we? And then did we do one joint stream this year?
Yes. Yeah, earlier in the year, like maybe in the summer, maybe was ours.
I can't remember. I know we have.
Yeah, we definitely have at least done one before this one, and then because we were working on the face cards. We worked on your little guy with the crayon, and then I was working on we were coloring the coloring pages.
That's right, we were.
Yeah, but you're right. It's been almost a year since the Behance Bash. Sheesh. I almost feel like we should do it again. Obviously not on Behance.
I know, I said that, didn't I? I said we ought to do another one, or something similar, where we do a whole day again. It's just that everybody's so busy.
That's hard, eh? Maybe I'll talk with Dan and see what his schedule is like, because maybe we can do something in the new year, because things kind of like die down in the new year, and it kind of gets a little blah for things while we wait for other stuff to pick up.
That would be good, actually.
Okay, I'm making a note for that, actually.
So the other thing I was doing with this design, because you might think, well, I've got an awful lot of empty space and everything looks like it's floating.
Mm-hmm.
There is a reason for that. I try, because I'm not very good at making things fit after I've done it. I've got like a guide that layout underneath that I call my TikTok size, mainly because it'll fit anything. It'll either fit TikTok, Instagram if I was still on it, but TikTok is where I sometimes post animations. So I was thinking I want to try and make it fit in a TikTok window as much as I could. So that's why it's sort of based where it is. Now, yesterday, in preparation, because one has to try and be prepared for joint streams. You can't just walk your way through like you can on your own.
Willy-nilly.
I wanted to look at colour. Now, I don't know about you, but Adobe Colour isn't working. At least not for me.
Oh, I don't think I've used Adobe Colour.
No, it's you get a bad. I'll show you. You might get it open the first time, like this, but if I go to explore and try to pick a color scheme, it just gives me a blank page and says it's a bad request, and then you can't get back to this. So I don't know what's going on with Adobe Colour. I know that in the experts we've sort of mentioned it, but it doesn't appear to be fixed yet.
Okay, so what does one use Adobe Colour for? Does it come up with different... I've never used it before. So does it come up with color schemes or kind of things for you?
Yeah, you can put in a base colour here in the middle and put your own in. And then you can ask it for colour harmonies, analogous, monochromatic, all that. And it'll give you colours like this. But you can also input an image and extract a colour theme.
Nice.
You can extract gradients. And then in the Explore, you can see all the colour schemes that other people have uploaded.
Fun. That's great.
And stuff. So I don't quite know why it's not working as it should. Now, the colour harmonies, these analogous, monochromatic and that, you'll know that we get those in Illustrator, because if you click, say, let's say I pick this blue as a fill colour, and then we go to color guide, you do already get a color scheme, which is exactly what Adobe Color does. And you can choose a whole lot more. Look, we've got complementary, left complementary, analogous, monochromatic, triad, compound, high contrast, pentagram.
Nice.
So you've actually got a lot more choices here.
Nice.
So I started with this, trying to pick a color scheme for this. Now, I don't want to do the usual, let's make the tree green, you know, and all that sort of thing. I wanted something just a little bit different.
Nice.
Although I couldn't tell you what that is, which is why I wanted to explore on Adobe Color.
Right.
So the one that I've got some that I came up with. So let me go into references. Right, so the first one was where I picked a red at the top here, and then I went down and I chose these colours. And I still like that.
Yeah, that's great.
Actually. But then I also tried a different version of it, which was a bit more muted with the pinky colour. And I like that one as well. But I don't know which one I like most. And I don't know if I still like them enough to use them.
Interesting.
But it was all I could think of last night. In fact, I'm actually liking this one that's already showing.
Right.
If I go to that blue, what does that give me? Blue, blue, purple. No, that's a bit boring. So then I had the other idea, because in Illustrator, you've also got a load of swatches in the library that you can choose. So if we go down here and go to, is it nature? Yep. And seasons, you get a set of built-in.
Fun.
Let's make these a bit bigger so we can see them. There you go. Built-in color palettes that we could use. So these last four at the bottom are winter. So you've got winter 1, which is green, brown, and sort of lavender. Winter 2, which is just blue and white, which is nice. So I could do a monochromatic theme.
Yeah.
Then I thought of this one, winter 3. And the only reason I really like that one is this sort of muted brown that I thought would do well for the dog.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, you got to have some inspiration from somewhere. But then that would be a little different, because then the greens are a little more muted as opposed to like the dark, bright green that you would normally expect. So it's different, but not so different that people don't know what's going on.
Now, the one thing I have noticed often with the color palettes that you get within Illustrator, certainly, I've noticed that I can probably pick any color from these 4, and they will all work together.
Right.
You might have to check the values that you know, because it's values that are the big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That if you values where you've got your light and dark and they stand out, you can usually get away with any sort of color. So I'll probably find that the values of these are mostly the same, but I'll probably be able to use any of these. But I thought I'll use one of these rather than mine, because I don't know that I like mine enough. So I'm going to get them into my palettes, you just click on the little thing and it group folder. And I think I'm going to add all of them for the simple reason I can then choose from any of them and see how it goes.
Perfect.
So that's how I basically do. Yeah, you are spoiled for choice, right? You are. And the other thing is, you can spend your life looking at colours and still not get it right.
Well, it's interesting. We did an exercise at school one time, and our teacher had like paint chips, basically, hundreds of them. And she said, I want you to come up as a group with like the ugliest color palette. 3 colors, get the ugliest color palette, like the most clashy, whatever. And we went through, and almost every palette we came up with, it was always 2 of the colors always worked together no matter what. And then there was just one weird one on the outside. So like, that's like why color theory is so hard. They all kind of work, but like you said, it's the values and stuff that kind of make or break in certain cases. So that's where my struggle usually is.
Do you do a values check on yours when you're working?
Do you like go like I don't usually do a values. Sometimes it depends on what it is. If I'm doing something like a logo or something for people where the contrast really matters, or if I know the output's going to be black and white, I'll do a check. I haven't really been doing it on my personal work. So do you like just kind of like go black and white and make sure that everything's balanced, or?
Yeah, because it's easier, I put a layer at the top of everything called values
Okay.
with a black rectangle on it.
Okay.
It won't show anything at me because everything's just black and white. And then the actual rectangle itself is just fits the whole canvas.
Okay.
And the blending is for color. And so when we put some colors in this, in fact, actually, if I open my color palette, you know those colors I had down the side, if I show those again, look, you get
cool.
And it's a really quick way. I've built a template, and this layer is always in, so that I don't have to mess around drawing it or whatever. And then all I have to do is lock it and turn it on and off when I want to check how I'm doing.
Awesome.
If the colors are working together.
That's such a good idea.
I do it in Photoshop as well.
That's such a good idea. I'm going to start doing that now. I love that, because that's something that like I always kind of forget quite a bit of, just like the values. And then I know I don't do this, and I should do it more. I had a roommate, a friend of mine in school, and when she was doing Photoshop work, she'd mirror her art every now and again. She'd do a lot of faces, and she'd flip it back and forth and work on it to make sure it's really well rounded. Like, I think like this looks okay like this, but if I were to mirror it, the proportions might be off. Her nose might be a little off center. It might not look right, but I don't notice because I've been just looking at this page like this for weeks now. So that mirroring and checking of the values is a great tip to have that. So I'm going to add that to my list.
Now, you see, mirroring isn't something that I do.
I'm not sure if it's something that would be for all pieces. I feel like vector art and things like that, like logos and such, don't need it as much. But I think if you're doing faces, like she did a lot of character design and a lot of faces, I think it's valuable there, just because like, oh, look, her nose is actually all the way in her ear when you mirror it that way, because the proportions and the angles are always kind of funny. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Oh, we have a bot. I'll get rid of them.
Right, because even something like this, though, I wonder what it would look like if I did flip it over. Can you do that with the canvas on this or not? I don't know if you can in Illustrator. I've never tried.
Let me see. How do I get my
Actually, I probably have to do all of it. But yeah, I probably ought to think about it more than I do. Oh, you're ready on Skittles, are you? Hang on a minute, I'll go and get one. Mafu, right. I don't know what colours I've got left because this has been open for a while. So, so can you hear the noise as I try and get that? Right, the one that's come out is green. So I'll be apple.
Nice.
I've got a green one.
I love the apple ones. Those are good.
Muting while I'm trying to talk. So let's start with throwing some colour on this then. See if we can't get it started. So the dog, I said I thought this nice muted brown would look nice. Oh.
See?
Look
Adorable.
at my little sausage dog.
Look at him go. So cute.
So actually,
oops,
I didn't need to do all of the thing. I want to do that and that. There we go. Oh, doggy.
Look at her go. So excited.
So now, what's that there? I've got a weird piece. Oh, I don't need that. That's the other thing. You find stuff that you didn't know you got.
So I guess when you're using the stock vector, that kind of comes out a lot, just like how that person happened to build that file.
No, I think that was me.
Oh.
I think it's a leftover from something I did, because I have edited them a bit to get them to fit.
Fair. Yeah, that makes sense. They fit together so nice. Oh, look, he's so excited for the tree. Look at him go.
So, what colour do you think the cat should be, though? Can't do the same colour, can we?
You could do like a darker brown or like a reddish brown.
Like a tabby cat.
Yeah. Oh my God, Uma's here.
Oh,
Welcome to the stream.
hi, it's Uma. Hey up, Uma.
Welcome.
Colour guide. Oh. What about, in the colour guide, there's a purpley thing that you could almost say is like going to be a black cat.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Sort of purpley, I like that. Let's add that colour to the swatches, and then let's make it a global colour, and then let's drag it into our panel, and then the cats.
We just started at 11.
To do the eyes. They're going to be dark as well. There you go. Oh, no, I like that. That worked.
Nice. Nice. Oops.
You're only half an hour late, Uma. It's better than yesterday when you turned up as I was leaving. Win. You're doing well. So that's the cat and dog.
Nice. Oops.
Right. Now we need, I wonder if we ought to have an overall background colour. I rather like this lemon lavendery colour. I wonder whether we could do that. I wonder if we ought to make a background layer. It says 41 minutes on the stream. Yeah, we did start a little bit early because we were sat here twiddling our thumbs, weren't we, Erin?
We were just so efficient in our prep that we were like, yeah, let's just get going. So we just started a few minutes early, yes.
Our problem was that we were actually too quick at getting set up.
Yeah, we were too good. That never happens. We had to take advantage of it before the computers started rebelling. I did have a bit of a freak out because as I was having my breakfast this morning, my internet went out. I was watching TV and my internet and everything went out. I was like, no. I have to talk to Jane in like half an hour. You have to set it up. Luckily it came back, but I was like, no, today's not the day.
Right, now I've run into a problem with how I've built this because the window and the snowman, I've got some clipping masks and stuff, but I've just filled them with white rather than actually delete them. And if I have a background, of course, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to have to change that. So with the snowman, where is it? It's that. So if I change it to the same colour, will that fix the problem? It does. Well done.
There you go.
If I do the same with the window then, yeah, I can. Right, there we go.
So that's usually something I'll do. I'll set up my file nicely and be like, okay, I'll just put white here. It'll be fine. And then future me will be really upset that I have to clean all this up because I didn't think of a background. So it's good to have solutions like you're showing.
Really, what I should have done is just crop it and cut it where I don't want it. But I don't know. I'm a bit wary of doing that because I always find that I go back and change my mind.
It's destructive. That's why I do the white backgrounds too, or the white edges, because I'm like, if I change my mind, I can always take it out until it gets to a point like this where I'm like, oh, now I have to do all that cutting and.
Actually, though, let's do it another way. Let's do undo, right? Rather than doing it that way, let's do it the way that you should do it, which is as a clipping mask or a mask instead. So if we change this to black, right, and go edit and copy and then hide that there. But on our snowman layer, go to the transparency and say make mask, uncheck the clip, and then in this one, do Control F to paste in place. And there you go, you see, look, it's done it without me having to change the color.
That's a great solution.
And that is actually the better way to do it. It's just that I was being lazy when I built this.
And that's a great tool because then that's non-destructive. You can go in and edit that later, which is great.
Exactly. So if I want to move it around, I can do. So let's do the same with this. Change it to black, edit, copy, hide it so I can make sure it's working how I want it to. Click the layer window, go to transparency, make mask, uncheck clip, click on, Control F, paste in place, and that should do it.
Nice.
There we go.
I love
and that shows me actually, if we look closely, my mask isn't actually quite right, look, because you can see the joins. So it actually needs a little bit of finessing. So I've got to fix it because it will drive me mad otherwise. So the quickest way of fixing it will be to add a stroke of 1 pixel, I would think. And that should fix the fact that I didn't leave enough room. Yes, it did. But I also need to do it on this piece, I think, as well, which was the snowman. So go back here, go into this, add a stroke, 1 pixel. That'll do. Come back off, click off. There you go. That's better.
Perfect. So Mafu has a question. When do you both change your background colors, and what's your recommended color for your background?
I'll let you go first.
Well, see, for me, I kind of cheat. I find backgrounds to be intimidating. I would throw them into my behind my illustrations, and I would throw them in there, and I'd get frustrated because my person looked too big or too little. So it's really something I have to practice. So most of my backgrounds in most of my art is white. I usually have my figure on a white background, and they kind of live in a white space. So if you go through my portfolio, outside of the tarot, it's mostly a figure on just a white space. There's very rarely a hint of a background, but that's just kind of how my style has built out. And in the case of the tarot cards, I'm lucky in that it's a night circus, so it's always nighttime. So all of these have a background, like a black background. I have a textured background here, so it goes in line with the black, the paper patterns that I have. So there's some texture to it. And then I'll put the stars in if we're outside or things like that as it's appropriate. But I'm slowly kind of learning to add little bits of hints of background, like maybe there's like a table, just a hint at that kind of thing. But I don't do a lot of backgrounds lately. So if I were to choose colors, I think I would just kind of stick with the color palette, etc. That like kind of like Jane's doing right here, and I'll let her answer that one. But Mafu says, same. I hate the idea of painting backgrounds, but I've been told I should experiment painting backgrounds, and it's scaring me. Yeah. So I think if you're just kind of slowly adding it to your piece, or little hints, like for mine, say I'm doing like a pirate on a ship, maybe I have to hint at the fact that there's like water behind her, or add like a sail or something like that, kind of slow, like little bits and pieces, and it doesn't get too much, unless you're doing something like Jane where like you're doing a whole room per se.
I don't know if I was trying to think of something really good to say. I would say, what would I say? I don't know, actually. I've never been big on backgrounds either, and I don't think I'm actually that good at them either, to be honest. But I've heard that people say that mostly what you do is you start small. Or even, you start simply as well. So the first thing is maybe just one solid color background.
Yeah.
Is the first thing you start with. The thing with the background is it does change how everything looks, doesn't it?
Yes.
Because colors react differently once they're next to other colors.
Right.
So I could have gone through all of this and put in the colors of my tree and my window and the dog and the cat like I started. But really, I should start with the background color to some extent, because you need to see how they're going to interact.
Right.
And I really wish there was an easy way to say how you do it, but I don't know that there is, other than trial and error.
Yeah.
Because if I'm honest, Matthew, that's the only way I've learned. Which is why I tend to do everything on, even in Photoshop, I would try and do things on different layers. Simply so, if I made a mess with a background or any of the layers, I won't have ruined the whole thing, because I've learned that's what I do. I've done that before, where I've ruined something by not doing it as I would consider properly.
Right. Yeah, I think
you could start with a solid color and see. I suppose it depends, because your characters that you draw, Matthew, what sort of background would they, if you were to draw a background, where do you imagine your character would be? Would they be outside in a forest? Is it a fantasy landscape? Is it trees? Is it mountains? Is it sea? Or water, or a lake or something?
Yeah, and I think combining that information of like what context would they be in, and then just and going with your same suggestion of keeping it simple, just what do you need to just hint at that? Like, I think if you look at the Joker that I did with Dan, she's like supposed to be like a sea witch. So just in the background, because her hair kind of takes over, I just have a hint of a ship in the water. So I don't have like detailed water and she's on this kind of ship and this kind of thing, just hinting at it and just giving enough information so that you're also not overloading it as well. Because I think I've fallen down, like I had one of the tarot cards, the early ones, the two children were in a library. And so I just hinted at the bookshelf. I have the shelf there with some things on it. I don't have the titles. I don't have anything like that as to what it is. I just kind of hinting at what's going on. And then if it still doesn't make sense, then you can kind of slowly add more. But I think just keeping it simple until you get more comfortable is probably really good. They would be inside a residential area or hotel or somewhere they'd clean for. So yeah, so maybe if you hint at like a little table off to the side that has a phone on it or a plant, just a hinting that they're inside would be good. It'd help with your proportions too, because that's a struggle I have too. Making them look like they're in that space.
All right, they'd be inside a residential area or a hotel, somewhere they'd clean for. You could start with something really simple, a bit like my room, where you have a plant and a chair. Or a wall with a door in it, or a
window or something.
I wouldn't go for a big fancy hotel hallway where you've got a really fancy carpet or anything like that. and start with a really small corner. Even if what it is you're focusing on your character. Say they're cleaning in one of the hotel rooms. The corner of the bed, not the whole bed, just the corner. Maybe they're doing the vacuuming around the corner or whatever. But literally just the corner, so that you don't have to go into too much detail.
Yeah, like I even had a character I just drew her. She was just sitting reading a book. And so we needed the chair to show her that she was sitting in a chair, otherwise it would look weird. But I just hinted at like the kind of essence of the chair, like the arms and stuff where her legs were sitting and where she was leaning and things. Just enough to show, hey, she's chilling in a chair. But we don't have to go too deep. And then that would be something maybe I practice on the next one. Maybe do a full chair. And then maybe hint at the floor under the chair. Maybe there's something sleeping under the chair or something like that. I'll see if I can give it a shot. I'm actually working on my entry for Power in Art, the Community Challenge by Sean. Oh, cool. But that one's for a different context. Cool. That's cool. Do you know about that, Jane? Do we know about what that challenge is?
To be honest, no, I don't know. I don't know as much as I should. But yes, Sean's running a competition until, I think the closing date is Tuesday the 9th of December.
Cool.
And it's called Power in Art. And I'm just wondering if there's anywhere I can go to get the list of stuff, and that it's in Discord, and I don't want to come out of your room and then find I've disconnected myself, because that wouldn't be very helpful.
It would ruin our early efficient setup. Our whole credibility would be out the window.
So yeah, he's called it Power in Art, and it can be absolutely anything. I think that implies power and art somehow.
I love it.
From what I can gather. I don't know if I like that. And I think I'm going to stick with using the same colours. So I haven't done a piece for it, but it's very useful for anybody who wants to try, because the winner will get a year's Creative Cloud subscription.
Whoa, that's a huge prize.
It is.
I love
so it's worth attempting.
No kidding. And I like that. I like and dislike that it could be anything, because you're like, yay, I can do my own style, but then it's like there's no limitations, and so I don't have a guideline to work to.
If you've never done one of Sean's before, he does it with a theme, but the leeway of what you can make, I mean, it's not limited to just art. You could do video, I suppose, or something.
Cool.
I think the only stipulation is that we can't just generate something in Firefly and use it as is.
Fair.
It's got to have something of your own creativity in it.
That makes sense.
You've got to have done something to it.
That makes sense.
Your snow person is cyan, says Ray. Yes, because if I do white, I felt it was a little bit too harsh. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's just me. I thought it looked a bit, but maybe it will be all right. Yeah, a bit of a flash there. I don't know what that was. I'll make it white. Does that look better, Ray? I actually have trouble with limited colour palettes. I end up getting stuck. What we really need is to be using some tints and shades as well. That would be making life a bit easier for me. So what we will do is, with our colour picker, like this lavender, for instance, if we go to the colour guide, oh, look at that pink, that's nice. Oh, and that teal.
Those are nice.
I like these colours better.
I like those a lot. But that's great. Like a teal Christmas
want to
tree?
increase
That'd be
this
amazing.
to give me more options. There we go. He emphasised making an impact in his streams. Yes. Yeah, well, I think there's a big thing I have been reading around when I'm reading about art.
Oops.
Any time that society is in an upheaval, it is a good time for artists to exercise their creative powers, especially if art generally, or the arts and culture generally, seem to be undervalued.
Yeah.
You know, and also that making art, whether it's good or bad, I mean, it's something I think of a lot, because I don't think I make, if it's my own stuff like this, I don't think this is very good. I'm not liking it at the minute. It's going to take a lot for me to pull this together and think that I actually like it. At the moment, I hate it, because it isn't doing what I thought it would do, and it takes me a while to get to that stage. And so anytime somebody makes anything, and I've heard it said that, you know, creativity is not just about paint or brushes or pencils and drawing and sketching, but if you're creative with recipes and food, or you're creative with the way you lay out your room, or you're creative with the way that you solve a particular problem, okay, that might not actually translate itself to something easily shared with other people. But I think, like, throughout my life, you know, I haven't been creative necessarily in art throughout my life, but I've done an awful lot of creative problem solving. You know, but, you know, that's not something that lots of people see.
Yeah, and I think there's like I've had this discussion with very many different people as well. I think there's like, when people say, "Oh, you're creative," they assume doing what you and I are doing right now, drawing and painting and all that kind of stuff. But the creativity lands in a lot of different fields, as far as I'm concerned. I think almost if you have an original thought for yourself, it's a creative thought in my mind. Like, if you put your outfit together today, that was a creative thought. You put that together. Good for you.
The littlest things.
Exactly. A lot of things we overlook, for sure. For sure. We've got some new people in the chat. RB's here. Oliver's here. Welcome, everybody. Mafus asked if I was joining in the challenge. I don't suspect I'll participate in this one. Particularly, I have a busy November and I want to ease into December. But I will watch what everybody's doing, though, and maybe I'll participate in the next one. I want to see what everybody's doing. But yeah, you're right, Jane. I think like that. I've always heard that kind of like, there's a quote, and I might butcher it. I hope I don't. But it was kind of like, making art itself is an act of rebellion or something like that, where it's just kind of like being creative is just in its own thing. Just keep that stuff out, because that's usually one of the first things that comes under attack, at least like in small things like school budgets. The first thing that gets cut is the art programs, right? So it's the sports go further. So it's just kind of keep making it and keep streaming together and pushing it out in the world.
And I do think, actually, we all have to tell, you know, I mean, if I really thought about the stuff I make and the fact that I don't think it's very good, I'd just pack up altogether. I know I would.
Yeah, but I think also like I did hear a quote once from an artist, and she said, like, if I think I've done my best piece already, I should be done. Like, why would I keep doing art if I feel like I've already done my best piece of art and I can't get better than that? Move on to another thing. But I think also like that what's good and what isn't is up to a lot of different people, for sure. And like, because I've had a few pieces I've put out in the world where I'm like, ugh, I don't like this one at all. It's not my favorite. I'll try it. I'll put it out there, and everybody loves it. And then I'll put out something where I'm like, this is the best piece I've ever done, and like, nobody likes it. And so it's just kind of like, because it's so subjective, as long as you're enjoying creating it, I think that's the biggest thing. As long as you're enjoying it still, you're not on the stream being like, oh, I have to go stream again. You're still getting something out of it. That's good. And this looks fantastic. Look at those colors.
Was that?
You.
I think I'm not sure yet. I'm just playing actually. I got this from the colour guide when we went in, and I just love these four colours. So I'm just moving between the shades and tints. I'm not sure that I like it, but I like it a bit. So I'm trying it to see if it works. Not sure about the dog at the minute. And the other thing I need to do is, with that dog, I need to actually cut the eye out of the body so that, oh no, I don't. I need it to be white, don't I? That's why. Otherwise it'll be purple, but maybe it should be purple. Yeah, I'm going to cut the eye out. So let's do minus front. Right, so that when I do the dog, I don't have to keep going in and making sure I've not made the colours wrong. So now, when I click dog, I'm thinking, let's try one of these darker shades. Oh no, that's a bit, I don't like that. What about a really dark brown? No, don't like that. Making that light brown still, but we could make the tree a darker shade, couldn't we? Possible. That's a possibility, or it could stay the same. I think it might leave it the same. So that's that. Ray wants the snowman to be white. I changed it to a different colour. And I'm wondering this time whether I want to change it again. If we make it the same colour as the background, but change the opacity blend to something like, what about hard light?
There you go.
So he's just, you can't really see him.
It gives the hint that there's a window there.
But
yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I like that. If I go into values, we can still see it. So it's not like I've made him totally invisible. I actually quite like that.
That's awesome. I like that a lot.
And what I might do is with the window, I might give that the same treatment and make it just a shade darker than the background. What about that?
Oh, there you go.
Do I like that? Yeah, maybe I do like that actually.
And I think that'll come together because you started with such a harsh black, which made sense for the start of it. But I think maybe all the black sections might be throwing off the perception of the piece. Because this part where you're at in an illustration is my most frustrating part too. Because it's like it's not doing what I want, but I'm not done yet. Like.
No, I'll probably change it loads of times, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I suppose the other thing is, why am I thinking I've actually got to be realistic in the colours?
Yeah.
Considering nothing else in this picture is realistic.
Exactly. The tree could be purple if you wanted it to be. It could be pink. It could be whatever you want it to be.
Exactly. So then we've got the cat probably didn't want to be as dark as it is. So what if we go for that purpley colour? Dark instead. Oh, now that's better.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that. That's better. So then we need the presents. Well, the presents we can do the same sort of thing with. We can go with this pink, make it darker maybe. And on this one, we could go for a green and make it that green. We could actually swap those two over. So what if we make this one that lighter green there and make this one that pink that I liked. Pink, a little bit darker pink. That's better, like that. So then the lights. Now with the lights, I was trying not to be too clever. We could do just single coloured lights, so the whole thing, and make it, let's make it this sort of off gold colour, really, right? But then I got dead clever, and the baubles, I split them so that you could actually also have a different colour for the bit that would actually be hanging.
Cute.
But I think that's a bit too complicated for this, because this is a very simple design.
You're right.
So I don't know what to do, really. I could do both in the end.
You could have it
for
be...
now, I've got a single.
Yeah. Like you could have like the little dot pieces that are where it's hanging, and then kind of just have the main part kind of, if it's in the animation, those can be light up and off, and then you just always have a hint of where it's sitting.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I don't know if I was doing flashing lights.
Well,
I suppose I might do.
It's good to have options.
I might have to think about that. The other thing I've got to think about is, does that look like a sort of a gold colour?
Yeah.
It's sort of off brown. I think it's not far off.
It's pretty close. I think in comparison to the color of the tree, you get that gold vibe.
Yeah. So I was thinking we could make all these that same colour, right? And then there's all these circles. Now they're going to take ages to do one by one, so I'll leave them for a minute while I think about it. Now I've got to go back and pick my colour again because I've lost it. I should be making actually a palette with all these. So let's have a think about our carol singers, because they're going to need... Oh, and I didn't group them. Look at me. You know, I've been complaining about stock vectors and how people don't group them properly, and I haven't grouped my carol singers. That'll teach me.
Oh my gosh. One of the most frustrating things is working with somebody else's vector file, that's for sure.
Keep your mouth shut, Jane.
You called yourself out on that one.
I know why. I think it's because when I did this, I haven't actually got to the point where I'd finalised everything. So it's still in its rough form, actually, right. I think. So let's give all these people nice pink faces, because it's cold.
Cold outside.
So we'll give them really nice pink faces. And their mouths will be slightly darker. So we'll
their faces are up. Color. That's so cute. They're like Charlie Brown characters. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
And then scarves. We'll go, scarves. We need, well, we've got a couple of colours here. So green. And we'll do the strokes in a minute, because so that'll do for that one. This one will have purple, and this one will have a brown scarf like that. Right? Then we'll go in and do other things in a minute. This one will be a brown coat. Which colour did I use? Can't remember. So I'll grab it that way. So here is going to be... My colour picker's wandering off again. Oh, no, that's better. Sorry about that. I lost everything.
Oh, dear.
And in here... You will have, we'll go back, need this colour. That's it better, thank you. This one will go back and it will have the green coat, and you, sir, will have the purple, which I think is the same as that purple. 6. Let's copy it just to be on the safe side. Going to here, and it isn't. There you go. Right, so now I've just got these strokes to do around their scarves, but actually they should all be the same colour as the background because that's what the gaps are. So let's grab them. Let's switch this to X. So on the scarves, like so. Oh, edit. Grab all these scarves, and then in the stroke panel, we want to make them the colour of the background so that everything sort of fits. Okay. I should have done compound paths and cut them like we did everything else, but I haven't.
I was going to ask about that because I was wondering if you were going to leave the stroke as is and what and why we made that decision. I just wondered because you're probably not going to scale this, right? Because I usually put the reason why I ask is I'll put an outline in and then I'll scale things and I'll forget that all my proportions are off, or I'll forget to check the maintain stroke.
Fail strokes and effects. Yeah. Yes. I think the reason that I haven't is because I hadn't finished the design and I wasn't sure about it. But you're right. I think what I will do is actually make it that they're either masked out or cut out properly, so that if I do ever want to just change the colours, although it should be relatively easy to do a full colour change with the recolor artwork,
right?
Even as it is, because I have actually stuck to only a few colours, right? So strictly speaking, it should be, easy. I don't know that it will be, but it should be. So then we've got our music, and I'm thinking as the music gets further away up here, I'm going to go for doing that same colour and changing it to whatever it was. Was it hard light or something?
Yes. Remember. Yeah, it was hard light.
Hang on. Doing the wrong thing for a start. So let me just click the snowman and remind myself. Hard light, yes. So as the notes go out to the background, I'm going to have these 3. I'm going to make them the same colour as the background, and we'll change them to hard light so that that's outside. And then here, these will also be the same colour as the background, but we'll go in here and we'll make them a couple of shades darker. And then we'll go here. Oh, I've hit the wrong key and I do this all the time. Right, back here. Right, start again. Oh, right. Where's the other one gone? There one. Normal, hard light. There we go. And then these ones can be a bit darker. So same colour, but let's make them really dark, or 3 too darker, because they're closer. So, I like that. That's not bad, except that these 2 don't want to be hard light like before. They want to be, let's make them pink. Oh no, you can't see them. That's no good. Oh, I know why. Change it back. Normal.
Sean,
that's it.
Sean just joined the chat. Hi, Sean. Welcome to the stream.
Hey up, Sean.
We were just talking about your challenge.
Yeah, tell everybody about your challenge. Because I haven't been paying attention and I can't describe it. Well, I did my best.
You did great.
Right, so then Merry Christmas. Right, for this, we need to make a copy, put it up onto spares, and then this text, I want to do create outlines. And then I want to ungroup it. Object, ungroup. Oh God. Right, and then I need to lock this background for the moment. So lock selection, and then I can group Merry, and I can group Christmas, and then we can decide what colours we want. So I'll go into there, make it this colour.
So Sean says we have a month left, December 9th, Power in Art 12-month CC subscription giveaway. Woohoo! Post in his Discord. Excellent. It's going to be great. And then, yes, Alessandra, it's going to be weird not streaming at 7 p.m. I hear you. But we had special circumstances today that could let me stream earlier today. So that's great. I'll be back to my normal time next week. See, this is coming together. Look at all those colors. They look so good.
I've just decided to change another few things by making some of the notes a different colour. So if I go to values, yeah, can still see everything, so that's all right. So this one down here, I'm wondering whether to change to I wonder if the gold would work. Let's have a look. Possible. Yeah, it still shows in values, so that's all that matters. Or maybe what we do is that one goes for another, make it a darker pink, if it will, thank you. Right, and then let's make one of these change to the gold, and then it goes to the pink again there. That could be one of these darker shades actually as it's going out. There we go. I like that.
Yeah.
And then
that's great.
Yeah, I like that. Stop fiddling, James. Stop fiddling. Then the other thing I will do, because again, the idea of this is it is supposed to be very simple. It's not supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to be really simple, and I'm so good at getting stuck in all the details, and I don't want to. Let's move this back because I'd obviously moved that. There we go. Right, so there's a couple of things that are catching my eye, and that is by this window and the snowman. It's not quite right, so I'm going to go in and fix that. So snowman, we want to go on to the mask to alter this, because I've somehow, oh no, it's not the mask that's the problem, it's the actual snowman. Right, go back onto here, So here we are, that's the window, so it's this one here. Let's grab this point, move the arrows, and that's solved that. Now I do need to go back to the mask because I was right, it's here. I want to make this a little bit wider this way. So let's get rid of some of these extra points. That wants to be smooth. And let's bring this out a little bit. Let's bring this out a little bit more. And that out a little bit more that way. And let's see if that looks better. That's better.
Look at that.
There we go then.
So
So
fun.
that, apart from maybe adding a shadow to the Merry Christmas, I think is going to be my Christmas animation for this year.
I love it. It's going to be so fun. Look at those colors. I like it. I like
It's
it.
different, isn't it? It's not the sort of usual Christmas, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want to do the usual colours if I could help it.
Right.
Oh, I've got to do all these circles. That's what I've got left to do. Right. So I think a bit like I've done with the notes, I wonder if these should all be different. So let's say we go in and hold Shift V. Let's just grab random circles and change the colours. So we could go for pink, and then we could go for what about another bright white yellowy colour? And then what about some brighter and darker pinks as well? Or even, do we go for a dark green? No, can't go dark green, so it's got to be the pink. Darker pink, yeah. So then these other ones, I want to make these lighter, and I'm going to make them the same colour as the background, actually. And this one wants to go to that colour, and this one, oops, wants to go to that colour. Or rather, the darker colour. There we go. Yeah, I like that. There we go.
Yes. I love it.
Cat is barking on the tree. Is that where you are? I haven't got a cat barking.
No. Got nothing.
Although you're making me look round to see if I have.
Which cat? Where?
So the things I've got to think about when it comes to animating this is I'd actually like almost the Christmas tree to be masked in such a way that we could have that snowman come sliding up to the window from a distance. But I don't know how I'm going to work that with the actual masking that I've done, so I'm going to have to think about that one. But if I've got it fixed with colours, then I can actually make the outside of the Christmas tree, I can do an offset. That would be how to do it. And then as the snowman gets closer, it just blocks him out anyway.
Right. Interesting.
Or I can just make it dead simple, and it's just the Merry Christmas and the little notes that, you know, it does. Sometimes I can get really bogged out. Oh, what are you showing there? Look at all that.
all my paper patterns for fill in the color. So this is how I color palette. I use a bunch of paper patterns that stick together, and then they're by default work together. And I use them to fill my spaces because I find color intimidating. And then we start coloring from there. Save.
There's an artist I came across on YouTube, and I can't remember his name, but I know I've got him in my favourites. And he's a guy who paints in a really odd way, doesn't use any brushes.
Ooh.
What he does is, I've watched one where he paints his own watercolour texture, scans it, draws his beautiful drawings of old houses, very whimsical, the gorgeous detailed drawings in pencil, scans that in, and then in Photoshop with the lasso tool, he goes in, cutting out pieces, using the watercolour texture that he's already painted, and paints the whole picture by just changing hue and saturation.
Awesome.
It is.
That would be so good.
I'll find it because it is absolutely worth.
Oh.
I won't play it because I know we can't. If we do that, we get into trouble for leaving up our videos with other stuff in. So I won't actually play it, but I'll find the link so that everybody could go and have a look because it really is worth seeing.
That sounds amazing. Oh.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Mr. Jane has come in finally to ask if I want some tea. Bless him.
Hello, Mr. Jane.
He's gone again now.
Oh, I missed him.
He's ever so quick. You have to be ever so quick. I miss him all the time. Drinks just appear in front of me. Oh, here he is. Francisco Fonseca.
Okay.
His name. I'll put the link in the chat.
Yes.
For anybody who wants to have a look. And these are the things. He's got a calendar out. But watch how he does it because they're absolutely brilliant. Wow. Absolutely brilliant the way he does it.
That's awesome.
And he does it all with this one texture. I mean, I don't know if he uses other textures in it, but the ones I've seen, it's one watercolor texture that he just keeps reusing and changing the hue and saturation to get these wonderful, absolutely wonderful depths of color. I mean, just look at that as a picture.
That's awesome.
Astonishing.
That's amazing. I love that so much. Because you always have it's your own texture. It has so much life because it's a texture like that. That's cool.
He's really. I don't know how I found him actually, but I look at it and I think that is just so. So all that line work is just his original pencil that he did, I think.
Amazing.
That he must use on Multiply or something. But it just looks like you've drawn it all with pen and ink, and it's just fabulous.
Fantastic. That's very cool.
It was what you were doing. I remember the reason he caught my eye is from when I was watching you do this with your textures, with your paper textures.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is basically the same sort of thing.
But for him to use like his own patterns and stuff, though, that's amazing. To have his own textures built in there, that's super cool. Because, like, I can't remember when I started this. I wish I could remember when the light bulb went on to do this. Because I'm glad we've been talking about color so much on this stream. Because color is very intimidating to me. And when I would paint digitally, I'd, like, pick my own colors. But, like, the brown would be too cool for a warm page, and then I get to the end, it would look really flat because I didn't have the right color in the shadows, and so all that kind of stuff was very intimidating. Or I would just like I'm like, oh, red will be good here, but I picked the wrong kind of red, so that kind of stuff would always be intimidating to me. So this is actually, these paper patterns are actually from, like, I'm not sure, when you go to like a craft store for like scrapbooking, and they have that package of paper that's all together in a bundle, and they come up with they come as a theme. And this one's actually, I can't remember if it's a circus theme, but it really feeds into the theme that I wanted for these colors. So I scan them in, and then they all by default start to like, they go together. So if I'm using that, and then when I put these photos in, it creates the palettes for me from those paper patterns. Like if you just put a photo in, Fresco will create a palette for you. So then if I'm picking a brown, I'm picking a brown that's in the paper patterns that will work with it, and not one that's too blue or too orange or too anything. And that's kind of helped me a little bit with that, because I find color very intimidating.
And you would then be where I don't know why I'm not doing it with papers, because guess what I was a digital scrapbooker. These are all my scrapbook kits.
There you go.
I've got hundreds of them, and these are only the ones that I've still got here. These I can't use because they're not commercial use. These are all the ones I've put aside for using on personal things. But let's have a look. Autumn sheet.
Oh, there you go. See?
Oh, these are just absolute. Why aren't I using stuff like that? Because I have got a load that I could use that are commercial use. But then if I take you, I don't normally show these, but I could show you some of the scrapbooks that I've made. I'm just trying to think which year would be the best ones. Some of them are a bit personal, so I'm a bit wary. And I haven't got all of them because I switched from Paint Shop Pro in the midst of. See, I did all these art journal pages.
Cool.
Where I just stuck all sorts on. Look, I love some of these.
Oh, those are great.
And then 2013. Oh, here's some. I did some smaller ones. I love this one. Look.
Nice.
Really, if I click that, what will it open in? Oh, it'll open in Photoshop probably. Let's open Photoshop. We'll have a look at this one. This is only the JPG. I don't know what's happened to the others. I think they're on my other machine in Paint Shop Pro format. Oh, yeah, this was one, the Agatha Christie quote. I like living. I have sometimes been wildly, despairingly, acutely miserable, racked with sorrow, but through it all, I still know quite certainly that just to be alive is a grand thing.
I like that.
And I read that when I was feeling particularly ill, I think. Yeah, it was 2 years before I had life-saving surgery, and I was really very ill when I made this.
That's great to have that to look back on.
Scrapbooking.
That's cool. Look at all those patterns.
And I love how tactile it is.
Yes.
I feel like I could touch that and it would be paper.
It looks like a scan of a page. Yeah, like with all the way the shadows work and everything. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's all digital. All digital.
Fun.
So let's see if there's another one that I like as much. I don't know. What's this one? No. Some of these were really simple ones that I did. Oh, that one's a bit.
Oh, look at all the colors in that one. That's cool.
No, that's probably the best one, actually. And then we get to, here's some actual scrapbook pages. Here's one I made of my wonderful husband.
Mr. Jane.
At a wedding.
I love it. That's so cool.
But the whole thing of this was how much like paper can I make this look?
Yeah, definitely.
It was my driving force. And then 2015, I went back to more digital stuff, I think. 2016, I was completely digital, and they were very flat and a bit boring, actually. They're all right, but I don't like them as much.
Right.
Then here, I did go back to a bit more scrapbooky style.
Cool. See, that's so fun. And then the paper looks so great, and it's fun to play with. I like that.
Mr. James saw that, is thinking, what's that? I've not seen that. But he has.
I didn't know I was part of your
This was
stream.
for a photo book. So I've actually had this printed in a photo book. It's the cover.
Cool. That's so fun. I like that so much because yeah, like I think maybe the using of the paper patterns came from me wanting to have it look like paper cutouts, and so maybe I used that and then kind of started filling my page that way. It just kind of makes it a little more interesting than just a flat, plain color, and gets that blank page out of the way.
I'm showing you this so that if I start doing it, you don't think I'm actually copying you. It is something I would already have been doing. It's just that I haven't translated it over.
I promise to not call you a thief. All inspiration, all sharing each other. You did it first. I did it second. But that's so fun, though.
I'm just seeing, there was a couple of others that I did that I really was really proud of, but I can't remember where they are. Not all of them got saved, unfortunately. So 2018, what did I do? In 2018, I did go a bit mad again with the old scrapbook stuff. And that 2018, I think, is when I started doing art and making pages of art to go into this. And I can't, there was this one. It's a PSD.
That's so fun.
This was, I can't remember what we were talking about one night, me and Ian. And this is when I suddenly realised how much I wanted to try Illustrator.
Okay.
It was 2018, and Mr. Jane got me the full Creative Cloud the year later because I drew all this with vectors in Photoshop.
Ooh.
But what I really wanted was Illustrator. And I can't remember what sparked this, but that's my old transit van.
Okay, that's amazing.
I can't remember what we were discussing. It was something about hoists or something. I don't know. But this is what I came up with: manual handling. You know, just one of those things we were talking about at night. And so the next day I got up and drew this.
That's so fun. And I love how like it's good to have this record of things. Like I'm currently trying to like go through my apartment and my closets and things, and I'm finding these old sketchbooks and all these old different things I've worked on, and I completely forgot about so many of them. So it is so great that you have this history of these to go back and be like, oh yeah, now's the time for that idea, or that's a cool concept, I should work on it this way, and all that kind of fun stuff. Because I thought I would remember everything that I've done, and there's a lot of pieces that I completely forgotten. So this is a really cool record for you to have.
This was one of my favourites as well, actually. The books I was reading as little tags. And then
cool.
These would used to be like little enamel dots.
Cool.
And in the back, I put loads of quotes from the books that I was reading.
Oh, I like that a lot. That's cool. That's very cool. I like that color palette that it does create is fabulous. Rich jewel tones, I like that.
So this is stuff that I don't really show, actually. And I don't even look at it that much myself anymore either, which is a shame, really.
Yeah.
And then I can go the other way and be really, really very just simple graphic, like this one, which was a photograph of my lunch one day.
That's perfect. Yep. You never know where the inspiration's going to come from. I like it.
I might start doing these tags again, though. This is like an artist's trading card size. And actually, I rather fancy doing them again and making them look real, because I did love doing them.
Sure.
They were, in fact, do you want to see? Let me see if I can find them. have I got them over on here? Christmas tags, I have some of them. Here's one, not all of them I haven't got. This one. Oh, and it's not a very big one because it wasn't when I was into saving my work properly. That is all digital.
Wow. That's fantastic.
But it looks better in the large version, but this is just the small version. I don't know where the others are then, because I've got a better one than that. So I don't know what I've done with them. So where are they? 2015, 26. Aha! No, they're not them. They're mine. So where's the others? No, 2018. No. There's some better versions of these. Because there's a load of stuff on there that you can't see because I haven't saved it big enough. Because I didn't understand resolution back when I made these in 2012. I was stupid.
I knew what I was doing.
Know what I was doing.
That's so funny.
So where are the better ones? Because there are better ones of those. I know there are. Oh, I don't know. I've obviously got rid of them. Oh, they're on the old machine and I haven't somehow managed to get them over. Anyway, there's a little trip down memory lane.
That is so cool.
Paul enjoyed that. I should tell Mr. Jane that he already knows he's famous, you know. For all the tea that he brings me and everything. So
that's fantastic. Those are great.
I was thinking about it. You know, it's closed Photoshop. You know, this thing we've done in Illustrator, that would actually work quite well if I made these out of paper as if they were cut out.
Yeah.
And stuck onto a tag.
That would be.
And we had the proper shadow and the texture. So I could have this one as a flat vector, but I'm also tempted to think about cutting the shapes out properly and then being able to use it in Photoshop like you do and find some papers and stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to do it and I will show you. I'll send you the proper thing on Discord when I've done it.
That'll be fun. That'll be so great because it'll be interesting to see the two in comparison as well because it'll be the same basic layout, but like how that different approach can change the vibe of it or whatever ends up being the result. That's super cool. Yay for new projects and inspiration. Woohoo! That's what these collaborations are for.
They are.
Yep. Why we keep doing it. That's why we gotta work together. Oh my goodness gracious.
What shall we call the dot sound? The sausage dog in my picture.
Oh, we need a name.
What name do we have?
Come on guys, we need a name.
And the cat.
And the cat.
The cat ought to have a name too, I think.
I think that's only fair. I give the dog a name and just call the cat cat. Oops. What do we think, guys? Oh dear, that's not what I want to know. No, this one. Ah, knock it off. There we go.
So I think that I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I'm going to say that's done. Simon and Garfunkel. Okay,
that's pretty cool.
Or does it not matter?
That's the mystery. That's a great suggestion. I like it. Yeah, you know, like you were worried partway through about how it wasn't coming together the way you hoped it would, but it's looking like it's really balanced now. But then this is usually the point where I too will just be like, okay, I'm gonna let it sit for a couple hours or a few minutes or a day or two, and then like come back and be like, how does it still look for me? Do I still like it, etc.
I will do that, I think, and then I'm going to have to make sure that I don't talk myself into altering it too much. I'll try not to. Or to get into the animation side of it and start making it really complicated. Because the whole point of this one this year was I really did want it to be almost simple and sort of abstract, rather than being realistic.
Right.
I want, you know, I suppose what I'm trying to do is get into rather than being realistic, I wanted to be more of an abstract artist, because I think actually I could be better at that if I just stick to it.
Yeah.
Sticking to it, that's my problem. I see a shiny thing and I think, oh, let me try that.
And I think that's like, I get stuck on that too. I'm like, I'm going to post my work, but it looks all different. So you have the tarot cards, and then I have the gnomes that I do. I have the color your own bookmarks. I have all these things, and they're all different styles. And I get hung up on that a lot, being like, oh my gosh, like, it's not all the same. How do I post it? How do I do it? It looks like I'm not consistent. But then some people have said your work looks consistent anyway. But then I think also that's how we learn to go forward. So I could stick with this style and be like, this is how I draw all the time, and then ignore all those like interests. But that's kind of how you feed into new things and new projects. Like you were looking at the paper patterns, and now you're like, there's a new thing for that piece right there. I don't think sticking to one thing is always, if you want to like learn that style, sticking to it is good, because then you'll get really immersed in it. But I think sticking to one style all the time, I don't think you have to do that.
I like too many different things. I like the tag that I showed you that looks like paper.
Yeah.
I like clean vectors like this. I like abstract stuff. I mean, stuff like that Picasso did that are all out of kilter. I like that.
Yeah.
I like paint and texture.
Yeah.
I like all of it. That's my trouble, but I'm not brilliant at any of it. I'm sort of passable at some of it.
Right.
But I'm not what I'd call good at any of it. And I think the problem is because I don't sit with any one thing long enough. I move on and have another go.
Right.
I did say a lot to you, I typed it in. You noticed that I did notice you were here, my dear. And I'm sorry you've got sketchy internet.
Hi, Clever. Yeah, I saw you come in too, and then we deviated off. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, sketchy internet. I was saying right before our stream, my internet got sketchy for a minute too. I don't know what the heck the internet's trying to do around here. We have important streaming business.
So the other thing is, they say, don't you, that like on your Instagram or something, you should have a cohesive profile, or your images. I couldn't do that either, because they were all over the place. Sometimes it might be a photograph that I was really proud of and that I'd edited really well.
Right.
And then it might be a piece of digital scrapbooking, so I was all over the place then as well. And supposedly that's not good.
Well, I've heard that too, where it's kind of like you want a consistent style on your posts and stuff. But then I've also heard people say, like, post the work. Like, if your goal with posting your work is to get hired to do other work, post work you'd like to do. They don't know that you can do something if you don't share it, right?
That's true.
Oliver says, forget all the social media rules. Do what you like and when you like. And I find too, like, following Oliver's advice, just kind of like, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to get hung up on how different this gnome is that I drew from the tarot card that's going to be posted right before it, because once you start like just kind of posting your own content, a style kind of like emerges. It kind of happens naturally. Or even if I'm like, oh, I can't draw that painting because it's not in the style I've been doing, I think if you just are creating art all the time, eventually like, oh, I learned this from the tarot cards, I'll apply it here. Or when I was watercoloring that gnome over there, I can apply that here. And so eventually, like, I think a style kind of like emerges. And so I think we get really hung up on the rules and stuff too. It'll come together. Oliver says gnome tarot cards. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. The gnomes have taken over.
Sorry.
No, that's it. That was it.
Gnome tarot cards. Actually, that could be a thing,
Yep.
I've just decided that I'm going to select all this artwork and make a colour palette only of the colours I've got in it because I've been messing around so much.
Perfect.
So I'm calling it Simon Garfunkel Christmas.
I love it.
That's what Oliver said. And I always do what Oliver says.
Oh, well, there you go. With great power comes great responsibility, Oliver.
Now, it's actually given me a whole string of colours because it's got all of the tints in as well.
Okay.
But I've actually not used that many colours, really, I don't think. It just looks like a lot. So in theory, we should be able, for instance, to do a colour switch if I wanted. So if we went, let's just try it, see what happens. Let's go to recolor, advanced, and let's go to, all right, well, problem of course is I haven't got as many colors, have I? So preset, color library, choose a color library to work with. Okay, let's choose one then. Let's go for celebration. Okay.
Ha.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's
Well, that's a bit weird, isn't it? So what happens if we randomly change?
Whoa.
Ooh. Oh, that's not bad.
I don't mind that one.
Okay, let's try a different color library. Let's try another one. Let's try neutral. Okay. Oh, I like that.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
I do. Oh, I do like that. It's really, really muted, but I really like it.
Amazing. Can you create like a
I
new,
save it?
like, I was gonna say, can you create like a new artboard or something so you don't lose what you originally did? But that's really cool. I like that a lot.
I've saved it, so that'll artwork colors, so I might be able to get back to it. Let's do another. No. Oh no. 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 No.
Illustrator just had one good one.
Oh,
That's interesting.
that one's a bit different.
You lose your snowman, but I feel like you'd adjust that. That's just that layer effect.
And the carol singers have got blue faces, so it must be cold.
This really cold day.
I'm going to save that one as well. Can we save that?
So are you just saving the palette? Is that what you're saving?
I am, yeah. And
Okay.
hopefully it will remember the order, because that's what it often does, so that if I want to come back, I can try it again.
Cool.
I mean, they're all a bit weird, but I quite like them.
Oh, you gotta go with
I like
weird.
trying
You want to
weird
stand out.
Let's try another one. Let's try another library. I know, let's try art history, and let's go for, what about, we could have Russian poster art, Renaissance or prehistoric, Baroque,
Ooh.
ancient. Let's go for Middle Ages.
Ooh, let's do that. Ooh,
Blue.
interesting.
That's not bad. A bit boring. Oh no. 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 Possible. Ooh, no.
Oh, you lose a tree entirely.
No. Oh, no. No. Right, Middle Ages is boring, so let's try another one. I'd rather fancy Russian poster art, because that'll be really terrible and bright. Oh, maybe it's not. That doesn't look like Russian poster art. I thought that was all reds and blues. This isn't.
This isn't what I was expecting from this.
Well, anyway, that was a nice little thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, what era of Russian
So
poster art?
Oh, how strange is that?
Huh.
I thought I'd saved all those colours and it hasn't brought them into the swatches.
That's weird.
How weird is that?
It's unfortunate.
Why did it not do that then? Because they were saved over here.
Yeah. Are they in like something else instead of swatches?
No,
Maybe they're in like
it
palettes?
hasn't saved. No, it's not saved them.
Boo!
Oh,
Thank goodness you
what a
have that.
shame. Right, well, that doesn't work then.
Bummer.
What era of Russian poster art? I've no idea, Oliver. It's just art history, Russian poster art, and these are the colours that you get. So I don't know what era really. I just think of it as lots of bright red in it, basically.
Yeah. Reds and yellows and things, and that was not what that was. Oh man, what a bummer! And that was all within that window, right? So you can't like undo to go find those palettes again.
Everybody's there. The snowman's now a coal man. Oh, my dad was a miner, actually, Oliver. So, maybe it's an homage to my father.
There you go.
Because often he would be outside in the cold, looking in.
Let me in. You can't come in with your cold miner hands. Get all that soot all over my floor. Well, that's too bad I didn't save those palettes because those were interesting. We'll just have to like use the live stream, go back on YouTube, and scroll back, and then eyedropper everything.
Yeah. Okay, though. When you think things are going to work and then they don't. There you go.
Bummer.
That's not bad for today, though, is it?
I think you made some great progress.
Look what you've got done.
I've got all my color in here, so I can get on with my crazy shadows and things and all that fun stuff. But yeah, lots of progress on both ends today. I like it. I wonder if you could try for yours, like add more artboards, like just copy and paste the artboards and then just try those palettes and just save them as you go, and then it'll just be the different colors throughout your piece. Sorry, Mojo Fuzzy.
I could, but you know why I don't like doing that? Because I'm funny like this. The reason I don't want to do that is when you copy it, it won't copy the layers like I've got. They'll all be different versions in the same layers. And so everything's still jumbled up. In my mind, what I want is for there to be a whole load of layers with the new colours.
Right.
Because I like that.
Yeah.
So if I took the trouble to separate it out into cat layers, dog layer, present, whatever, I don't want there to be 3 lots of presents on the same layer. I want them to be 3 separate layers.
Right.
But it doesn't work like that when you just copy it, you see. So I'd actually go into the layers panel and I would duplicate all the layers.
Right.
And move them.
Right.
But then what you end up with is text copy, star copy.
And
then if you make a book, you get text copy, star copy.
Copy 1, copy 2, copy 3.
You see, that's where we need AI.
Yes.
Is for quick renaming of layers, like they've done in Photoshop Web.
Yes. They did that.
We need that in our desktop apps, don't we?
Yeah, that was like they did that on the keynote and my brain exploded. I was like, because I'm the worst. I don't name layers at all. Unless it's like a work file or something that I know someone else is going to be using. It's layer 37, 38, 39, 40. I rely on that little image.
I saw that and I thought, now that is what we need. And I would love that in Illustrator. In fact, in Illustrator, they've changed a behavior in the layers panel that annoys me a little bit. It used to be that if you clicked the top layer, and say you wanted to rename a whole load of layers, you could double click into here. So that's highlighted for text. And then to get to the next one, you didn't have to go down double click. You used to be able to press tab and it went to the next layer and highlighted the word, so you could change the name.
That would
but it doesn't now. It goes to the eye, and then it goes to the lock thing, then it goes to the name. So now you've got to tab through 3 or 4 times instead of just once. And I sort of get why they've done it, but I don't find it as useful.
That's frustrating, because that would be a great way to name it. RB says, or name them as you go, but to me, Barbie, that's slowing down my process. I want a new layer and I want to paint. I want to go. If I have to stop and type, this is the shadow such and such, then I'm stopping my process. Throws off my groove, man.
I do agree with RB. Naming your layers as you go is the best idea.
It is.
If I'm sat when I'm working in Illustrator and my keyboard's handy, I will do that. But if I'm using my right hand and a graphic tablet and I'm doing more like Erin is doing and painting, to actually have to stop, move back, type, then move forward again. Yeah, I've lost my rhythm then.
Throws off my groove.
Yes, it would be better, but it's not always easier.
Yeah, exactly. And then because we're all creative minds, we just kind of want to keep creating and creating. And that's why I'm pretty sure all of us, your folder structure seems to be pretty organized and sorted out. And mine's okay. It could use some love. But I think a lot of us have the layers and the files and the admin part, air quotes, is probably the more struggly, messy part. Because we just want to keep making the art. But that's okay. That's okay. Oh my gosh. Cool.
And on Alt plus L is so easy to press. Alt plus L. What, in Illustrator?
What's it doing? Is that just a new layer?
Do you mean Control plus Alt and L? Yeah, it is. And then you get your naming.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
If you do Control, Alt, and L, that'll be Command and Option, I think, for you on a Mac.
Yeah.
It brings up that. You're absolutely right.
That's true.
Does, but unless I've got that on a shortcut that I can press while I'm sat forward using my graphic tablet, no, it isn't easy.
That's fair.
And I think that's the thing, isn't it? Is what is easy for one isn't easy for somebody else.
Exactly. That might be one I adopt because I'm a shortcuts person. So I could see that being something that I put in there. I want to click away and all, because I usually have, unless I'm on the iPad, I usually have my keyboard handy while I'm creating on Illustrator or Photoshop or anything like that. So I could see myself adopting that layer addition into my workflow, depending on what I'm working on. But yeah, it depends on, but I know people I work with who are dropped menu people. They want to click everything. They don't want to do the shortcuts and stuff. So yeah, everybody working so differently.
There's also one where I don't know if it's in Illustrator, I bet RB knows, the one where it either puts the layer above or below the layer that you're on. Because sometimes you want a layer underneath, not on top. I know there's a shortcut for it in Photoshop, but I can't remember what it is. And I like what RB says. He says, in your case, it's something different else, Jane. You're right, RB. I am something else. Absolutely.
Magic.
You hardly ever touch menus. If you notice, though, I don't touch many menus. I do know quite a few. The other one that is really handy is actions in Illustrator, where you can have it in button mode.
Yes.
And I only have to tap, because those I can still do with the pen. So actually, I could do a new layer one that brought up the thing, but then I've still got to tap on my keyboard, so it still doesn't help. But I love this, the button mode. I need to make more of these actually, because they really are a time saver, especially in the complicated keyboard shortcuts that take more than 6 fingers.
Yes.
Because I can't do those.
Yeah, no, I use the button mode at work all the time, because there's just different things like creating certain masks and kind of different dash lines and things like that. Instead of having to enter them every single time, it gets you all the way there, or at least most of the way there. The button mode on the actions is huge. I love it. Same shortcut as
I like RB. I mostly make JavaScript actions for more complex things.
That's cool.
Of course you do, RB. Some of us haven't quite advanced to that yet.
They're cool.
I probably could work it out, and if I couldn't, I ought to rope my husband in, who's, I don't know if he does so much JavaScript. I think it's Python
Yeah,
and other codey stuff.
for sure. Yeah.
Alessandra's off work. Ta-ta.
Thanks for joining in,
Thanks for being here,
Alessandra.
Alessandra.
Have a good day. Enjoy your work. But yeah, I think like as I know a coworker of mine, he is very well versed in script and he does the more complicated ones and can show people how to do that. Like I know creating an action isn't overly complicated because you can kind of like record what you're doing and then stop it, and there's different ways to make it actually very simple. But on some more complex things, then yeah, if you need a little bit more JavaScript and such, it's good to have someone who can read the code and put it in a little bit better.
I think RB will put me right if I'm wrong, but I think there are some, well, I know there are some things that you can't actually record, but you can still script
Yeah.
and put into an action, but you need to do them, write them, rather than you can't actually record them. And I can't think of an example, but I'm sure there is one.
Yeah. Exactly. Like like we have some like save scripts and things like that we use at work, and so scripting is better than an action in that case, and just certain things where there's variables and all that kind of fun stuff. Maybe RB, you should do a live stream and teach us how to do all of that.
And Oliver's here with the Shift Control plus N for new layer above, Shift Control plus Alt plus N. I knew it was one of, yeah.
That's
for
pretty
new
cool.
yet layer below. Yeah, more shift and controls than I can manage.
Yeah, but no, it's great to have the above and below. Like even on my piece right now, like when I'm doing the line art is below, because usually it defaults to the next layer above wherever you're working. But sometimes you do need underneath, which is good. Some things can't be recorded.
It's all right. I knew what you meant, RB. I don't mind being called Hay. You can call me anything. I don't care. I'll answer to anything today.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're actually coming up.
This is going to be my Christmas animation. So I presume actually I'll probably be working on it in one of the streams before Christmas if it's going to get sent out.
Yes.
I'm going to have to. The thing is, what I haven't got to do is save this and then think, I hate it. I can't do it. I can't send that. I hate it. I can't send that out. Because that is what the next stage will be. And then it'll be 3 days before Christmas and I'll decide I've got to throw something together. So I'm terrible for that. So, but I do like the idea of making a papery version.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
I'm going to try that. I'm going to try it.
Definitely experiment with that and play with it and stuff like that. And you know, like I had an art teacher who always said to me, if you're hating your piece, like inevitably every piece I go through has that same stage, Jane, where I'm like, I'm just deleting this. I don't want this anymore. Give it 10 more minutes. Like 9 times out of 10, it saves the piece. So don't throw this away just yet. I think it looks fabulous. That cat and the dog are adorable. I love it. And like now that I see the little people have like their heads back, super cute. I'm a huge Charlie Brown fan, so that's excellent.
That's actually, I learned that little trick from when Kyle Webster was doing the draw-alongs during the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
Because he drew one like that, a circle with another circle for the nose and the mouth, and that's where that's from. All that time ago.
Adorable. I love that. Yeah. It's so simple. So usually we overcomplicate things, and it's such a simple solution. I love it so much. And they're doing such good singing. Look, colorful singing that they have. I love it.
I know. It is quite good. But you're right. We could have all those animated, and then everything else could be just really subtle. And I'm going to go for simple and
because even if it's just like the ornaments don't have to flash, but they could just kind of do like a little jiggle, just a little movement or something. You got all the music notes can go, and I think it can be really dynamic but very simple at the same time. Oh my gosh!
So RB is telling us how to do JavaScript for variable rows of boxes.
Oh goodness me! Well, there you go.
5 lines of code. You see.
There we go.
There's so much we don't know, Erin. There's so much we don't know.
We think we're professionals and then we know everything about something, and then someone comes in and sneak attacks us with new knowledge we need to acquire. Oh my goodness. Well, we're running up at 1 o'clock right now, and yours, I'm at a good logical breaking point for mine, and you look like a good logical breaking point for yours. So I think almost everybody here is following Jane, but just definitely check out her streams because she's going to keep working on this, and it's going to be awesome.
Yes, of course. Today, I should just say this. This fills my requirement for day 71 of live streaming art of some form, 71. Which has mostly been illustrator, I will say. So tomorrow will be day 72. There is less than a month in the 100-day challenge.
Wow. I'm so proud of you. That's a hard challenge.
Yeah, a 100-day challenge. I started on September the 1st. In fact, here's a fun thing. Where's my Twitch? Here we go. I did a thing on, I checked. Do you want a little bit of statistics?
Yes.
Right? So if we go to the creator dashboard, analytics, overview, and if I do the start date from September the 1st to today, update, right, here we go. I have done 132 hours and 26 minutes.
Wow. Of streaming. Good for you.
Of streaming. Whether anybody turns up or not, I've just got on and come and done some streaming.
I love that. And they're all they're on Twitch, right? Are you on YouTube yet?
I mean, I have got a YouTube channel,
okay.
But the YouTube channel houses my old Adobe Express videos because that's what I was going to concentrate on. But then when Adobe Express got so complicated and they were changing the interface like nearly every day,
yeah,
I just couldn't keep up with the changes to be making videos. And there's nothing worse than doing a video and then finding out that actually they've moved one button, because people are just going to pick you up on it and say, that's not right.
Yeah.
And I thought, I can't be doing with it. Plus, I hate to say it has got more awkward to use. They've started hiding things in double menus. And there's a lot more clicking. And the thing that really irritates me is when you do a search now for assets, it doesn't remember where you were. If you click off onto your canvas to just try what you've already picked,
yeah,
and then you think, no, I want to carry on looking because this isn't working how I think. It used to be that panel would stay open and it would remember where you got to down the scroll.
Right.
Now it doesn't, and you have to start again from the top.
And
And that, it drives me bonkers.
I don't want to start over.
And I think I can't be doing with that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do about my YouTube because I thought I should do like you do, and Sean does, and Dan does, that I can think off the top of my head, and do streams on YouTube as well.
Right.
I just don't know how I'd cope with it, with the chat, with everything. I don't know if I've got enough room and brain space.
What I like about YouTube is that it's going to keep my videos. I know I stream on Facebook pages as well, and they've reduced theirs to a 30-day video retention. So they're only good for 30 days. And then Twitch, at least mine, they're only up for a week unless I manipulate them somehow and remember to keep them. So at least you have that history in YouTube, which is nice to go back to. That's what I liked about Behance live streams as well, is that they stayed in your live stream library. So you could reference back to them on a project or something if you wanted to, or link out to them or whatever. But
I was thinking it might be something I could try. And it is a bit of an amazing run, isn't it, Dan? I am quite surprised I've managed it.
Yes, it's a crazy good run.
Not to give up now. I'm going to make it to that 100 days.
You're going to do great.
If I have to sit here, on my last legs, and all I do is draw a line, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, it's a
If only
great.
to prove that it actually can be done.
Yeah. And it gets that little bit of a push because, like, I know, like, for all of us, like, creating is, like, for me anyway, like, it's a good thing for me every day to do it, and kind of it's good and healing. But it's so easy to be like, oh, but I have to do dishes, and oh, I have to do this, and oh, I have to do that. So having that kind of little challenge, I'm inspired by your 100-day stream challenge to be like, okay, in the new year, maybe on day one, I start 100-day back to my sketchbook and just draw with a real pencil and draw with some real markers. Because I think I did it a few years ago, and it's like, it's great to get back to those tools and get back to that kind of get your hands dirty while you're creating and stuff. It's great. So.
Well, maybe I'll join you in a thing similar, but I need, because I think the thing is, when I used to set myself a target to do this, and it was just me, I didn't care if I let myself down.
Right.
But even if I've only got one person who comes to watch me, looking at you, Oliver, thanks, and Clever. No, even if, there isn't anybody there, or there's only one person and they're working alongside doing something else, it's made it that I don't want to let that one person down.
Right.
Just in case somebody wants to watch or wants to talk to me or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to not turn up. I might turn up late.
Yeah.
I might turn up early and get it out of the way because I'm not feeling very well, but I will turn up.
Yeah.
Now, I don't do that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I let myself off too easily.
Mm-hmm.
And so any project I start where I say, right, I'm going to do drawing for 30 days, after 2 days, I think, oh, I can't bother.
I hear it.
And because nobody knows I'm doing it,
yeah,
nobody's asking, have you done it? Nobody's saying, why haven't you done it?
Yeah. How's your progress? How's it going?
Yeah. So that's why I'm doing it, I think.
That's great.
And it has worked. I've been late, I've been early, but I've been here every day at some stage.
Yeah, that's great.
It's been absolutely fabulous for that. And I will say that all of the people in here have all dropped into my streams at one time or another. And I have to say, their support has been fantastic and it's made it worthwhile.
That's awesome. Yes.
So thank you, viewers, because without you, I wouldn't be doing it at all.
There you go. Yay, viewers. Thank you, everybody, for turning up for Jane, because they're fun streams. Like I said, I like it. Even if I'm at work and I'm able to have a live stream, like your voice is just so relaxing. So it's kind of like, it's nice while I'm working to be like soothing voice while everybody's being chaotic around me. I'm like, but Jane's so relaxed. It's so nice. Even when you're getting frustrated, you're just like, oh, it's still relaxing. Your voice is so soothing.
Oh, well, I'm glad, actually, because I've always thought I've got a whingy voice, but I have thought sometimes it'd be nice, to do that. Like I read the Agatha Christie quote, I like living. I've always thought living, I can't remember all the words now, living is a great thing. I'd love to be good enough to read an audiobook.
You should read an audiobook. I would listen to it.
But I can't do voices really. I could do narration of something, but I can't do character voices.
So you just have to do like
a president or queen. Thank you.
Do it. But even if you read like a biography or something, you don't need voices for a biography. So just read someone's biography.
That's true. I did once read the annual report for the Berkshire Disability Information Network, of which I was the chairperson, because we had the annual report and we had to do it in audio version for people who were blind.
Okay.
And the person who was going to do it had let us down. So I took home the report, the recording stuff, and did it in my kitchen.
Nice. Nice.
In Newbury. And I had to keep stopping and going back every time the freezer in the fridge turned on.
Classic.
Bobby says, do a lullaby.
Oh,
okay, I'll look one up and I'll do one.
Like a fairy tale or something.
I'll do a little Christmas story.
Yes. Do that.
Actually, I've got an idea now.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've got an idea. I'm not telling you.
Excellent.
idea.
New things are coming, so don't miss Jane's streams because awesome things are coming. We already knew that, but extra for real now. More ideas have just percolated. We saw the wheels turning. Oh my goodness.
So we get together again next year then?
Oh, 100%.
Ellen?
Yeah, I'm going to keep getting and doing these. A few people have messaged me and wanting to do more collab streams. So anybody who's on here, if you want to do this again or do it for the first time or whatever you'd like, let me know. I really enjoy doing these collab streams. It doesn't have to be, as you can see, at 7 p.m. on a Monday. We can do it at any time. We'll come up with something. But yes, let's do this again. And Dan, if you're still in the stream, we were talking about the Behance Bash. We were thinking maybe in the new year we should do one again when things are a little dry after the holidays and all that kind of stuff. So we may be in touch so that we can, a whole big group of us can do another super stream, which I think would be a lot of fun.
Super stream.
Super stream. All right.
That's what we should call it. Super stream.
Super stream. I love it. He's in. I like it.
Over here, of course, we would, over in Britain, because we don't get so excited, we would say the rather good stream.
The adequate stream. It'll be good enough. It'll be fun.
Yeah, the adequate stream. No, if we were really good for it, we'd go the really good stream.
We'll call it
the excitement we have as British. Splendid stream.
Ooh,
that's it, Oliver. Yes.
Nice.
Having the most splendid stream.
There's so many good possibilities. I'm so excited. Oh my
Well,
god.
we'll talk about it then.
Yes, we'll definitely do this again.
It's been lovely to chat with you.
Same.
And everybody else.
Same here. I'm so glad that you were up to do this again and us to get some streaming in, especially fitting me into your busy stream schedule with all this stream. I'm so glad that you're haven't lost steam yet because they're so fun to watch. So thank you so much. If anybody's lurking who isn't following Jane, check out her streams because they are a lot of fun. So take it all in. And thank you to everybody in the chat who joined us because that's always the most fun part. And yeah, keep following along. I'll be back at my same time and channel next week. Jane's going to be back tomorrow. So definitely keep an eye out for those pop-ups and notifications because you won't want to miss them. They're going to be a lot of fun. Heading into the holidays, it's my favorite time.
Yeah, probably tomorrow afternoon, I believe.
Okay, perfect.
For me.
So we'll take in Jane's stream tomorrow afternoon, everybody. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Thank you again, Jane. And I'll be back with more Creative Jams collaborations in the new year for sure. So keep watching the Instagrams and socials for all of that. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye, guys.
Hello, everyone. Bye.